Good afternoon. My name is Pete Wheeler, and I'm responsible for marketing, training, and product development here at Chadwell Supply. Joining me today is King Tong, the Director of Product Management for Goodman Manufacturing, part of Daikin Comfort Technologies. Good afternoon, King. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Pete. Excited to be here.
Today, we want to discuss the changes occurring for HVAC within the multifamily industry. Can you start by giving us an overview of the new rules that we're going to see in 2023?
Yeah, certainly. Every few years, the Department of Energy, or DOE, will evaluate the landscape of our industry and ensure that the testing procedures and the efficiency requirements are aligned with the direction we want our industry to head towards. So in 2023, two things will happen. DOE is increasing the minimum efficiency standards for split system air conditioners and split system heat pumps. And secondly, the DOE is implementing much stricter testing procedures for determining these efficiencies. Today, we need to qualify our systems under what we call an M test procedure. In 2023, this moves to a new M1 test procedure, and factors in testing such as the static pressures we need the systems to overcome and the electrical input are all increasing. This means all systems will need to be retested, optimized, and relaunched in accordance with this new DOE M1 test procedure.
Wow, that's a mouthful. Can you also give us a little help on what the new rating terms, what they mean and how they're going to change?
Yeah, the output of our testing under the current M test procedure is a resultant efficiency metric, which we know as SEER, EER, and HSPF today. When we switch to the M1 test procedure in 2023, the resultant efficiency metric changes to SEER2, EER2, and HSPF2. We provided a cross-reference table that shows the general relationship between SEER to SEER2, EER to EER2, and HSPF to HSPF2.
Fantastic. Now, how is this going to impact us in different parts of the country?
Well, we'll still operate under the different regions with different minimum efficiency requirements. On a national level, heat pumps essentially move up from 14 SEER today to 15 SEER. Now remember, Pete, in 2023, we won't have these SEER terms anymore and everything moves to SEER 2. Therefore, we will need to use the previously shown cross-reference table to translate 15 SEER to 14.3 SEER 2. HSPF also moves up to an equivalent 7.5 HSPF 2. So in 2023, all newly manufactured heat pumps must hit at least 14.3 SEER 2 and 7.5 HSPF 2. In the north, straight cool split systems move from 13 SEER today to 13.4 SEER 2, which is roughly equivalent to 14 SEER. In the southeast, straight cool split systems up to 3.5 ton move from 14 SEER to 14.3 SEER 2, which is roughly equivalent to 15 SEER. And at 4 to 5 ton, the minimum efficiency requirements are 13.8 SEER 2. In the southwest states, the SEER 2 requirements are the same as the southeast, with the added ER2 requirements, which are 11.7 ER2 for up to 3.5 ton and 11.2 ER2 for 4 to 5 ton.
Perfect. That helps us know where we need to have certain units available for installation. Now I'm going to walk through real quick the product lines that we carry and their changeover dates with one little twist we need to make sure you're aware of. Then King will give us a little more detail on those dates and rules. For the most part, manufacturers are ceasing production of the current SEER units this month or next. The date we need to be aware of is at what point do we have to stop installing those units, because the new rules are very specific about that. For the current 13 SEER units that were manufactured prior to December 31st, 2022, they can be purchased and installed past the end of this year. Like 13 SEER units, the current 14 SEER heat pumps will be able to be purchased and installed as long as they are manufactured prior to December 31st, 2022. The current 14 SEER unit production is already being reduced and new 14 SEER 2 units are being prepped for production. As such, we don't have all the details of them yet. Now, here's a twist I was talking about earlier. The current 14 SEER units cannot be purchased or installed after December 31st, 2022 in the South or Southwest. Only the new SEER 2 units can be purchased. King, can you give us a little more detail on that?
Definitely want to take some time to talk about the 2023 rules, especially as it pertains to our current product. All current heat pump models can continue to be sold and installed in all regions in 2023. What determines whether we can sell a current AC model family will be governed by the yellow energy guide hang tag that is on every single outdoor unit. This yellow tag shows the lowest SEER value that is rated with the entire outdoor family. So if the lowest posted SEER on that yellow hang tag is less than the minimum regional standard, then it cannot be installed in 2023. For example, in the South, the new minimum efficiency standard will be raised to a 15 SEER equivalent. The energy guide label for our 16 SEER products show a minimum rated efficiency of 14.5 SEER because we have an AHRI listed rating of 14.5 SEER with our 16 SEER AC units. This is less than the 15 SEER requirement in the South. 14.5 SEER is less than 15 SEER. Therefore, no 16 SEER AC products can be sold or installed in the South in 2023. Of our current AC models, I can only install models that are 18 SEER and higher in the South in 2023. Now, legacy heat pumps, no restriction there. They can continue to be installed nationally. And for those of you guys in the North, good news, all legacy AC models can continue to be sold up in the North with no restriction.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Now, the good news is we will be making all this information available on our website, so you'll know based on where you're able to see products, what you're able to buy. So we'll take care of some of this for you, but we just want to know what the rules we're looking at. Now let's look at some other changes we're likely to see. King, what are the physical changes and things that you're going to do to the units? What does that look like?
Yeah, Pete, creating products that need to adhere not only to an increased minimum efficiency standard, but also much stricter and test standards will have some impacts for you. First off, the use of higher performance components such as more efficient compressors and expanding the use of TXVs will lead to increased product costs. Not only that, our outdoor units will need to grow in size in certain areas to accommodate the need for more coil area and increase airflow. Larger units means more commodities used, such as copper for coils or sheet metal for the louvers. This extends to impacts on labor and warehousing as we may have added assembly steps on the line, leading to increased labor that will be necessary to complete a build. And larger units means that they will consume more space, not only in the warehouse, but possibly in a truck trailer as well. Naturally, new models with different components and different sizes will mean there will be impacts on the parts side. For example, there will be increased inventory of TXVs as we expand the use of coils and air handlers that require that component in 2023. Larger condensers will mean larger pads as well. The DOE will be enforcing this federally. Therefore, your installations may need to comply with the new 2023 minimum efficiency requirements, which may require changing out both the outdoor and the indoor unit. So please make sure to check the HRI directory to determine compliant systems.
Perfect. And please know, folks, that the current Goodman Brothers and AirQuest air handler sizes will remain essentially the same. Those will have increased efficiency components to gain the new ratings. So, okay, I know there are also some other changes coming in 2024 and 2025 that we've been asked about. King, what does the future hold as far as refrigerant and what we know about it today?
Yeah, so global temperature has been increasing since industrialization with correlation and rise in greenhouse gases, especially CO2 and hydrofluorocarbons or HFCs. There will be a new metric to measure the refrigerant contribution to this, and it is known as GWP or global warming potential. On January 1st, 2025, all refrigerants coming out of the factory must meet requirements of GWP of 750 or less. Today's refrigerants are much higher than that 750 GWP. The safest R410A alternatives that meet this GWP requirement are classified as A2Ls, and the main options are R32 and R454B. The refrigerant of choice from Goodman and Daikin is R32. It is a pure compound which offers serviceability advantages in that it can be topped off if there is any leak. It is also a trusted commodity as it is widely used globally in over 90 countries and with over 150 million units installed. There are some states that have begun accepting A2l refrigerants, and that should continue to expand. The plan for this transition will begin releasing the first of our R32 products sometime in 2024. In 2025, A2l Class Refrigerants will become the new standard, so be mindful of new training requirements as A2l refrigerants are technically considered mildly flammable and consider new tools such as gauges or recovery equipment to accommodate this change. The current refrigerants such as R410A or R22 will see a 40% phase down in 2024, and this should drive demand up. Supply of R410A will be significantly constrained, and we expect the supply-demand economics to reflect in the pricing accordingly. By 2036, we expect virtually no HFC refrigerants to be used, as the phase down will be up to 85%.
Thank you. I do want to emphasize that recovery and reuse of 410A will be critical in the next few years. Luckily, Chadwell University does have training classes to cover some of these HVAC topics and skills our technicians will need. If you want more information, you can go to chadwellsupply.com/HVAC-changes, or you can scan the QR code here on the screen. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you join us for one of our live Q&A sessions listed below. If you have any questions, please feel free to submit them prior to one of those sessions. Go to chadwellsupply.com/question or scan this QR code. Again, thank you and have a great day.